Virginia gubernatorial race. Cuccinelli versus McAuliffe and versus Sarvis.
Robert Sarvis. Robert Sarvis is a 37-year-old man from Fairfax. He has a BA from Harvard, an MAS from Cambridge, a JD from NYU, and MA from Mason. He used to be a software developer and an attorney for Gibson, Dunn and Crutcher. He's a libertarian since 2011, before he was a Republican. He supports universal school choice, drug reform, right to work laws, and protecting gun rights.
Sarvis on education. Sarvis believes that teachers are overworked and underpaid. Their time is wasted on bureaucratic requirements that crowd out lesson preparation, and their passion is sapped by standardized testing mandates that crowd out actual learning time. He wants to maximize school choice, end education fads, deregulate private schools, and foster an open and competitive market for education services. Sarvis plans to eliminate SOLs, deregulate private schools and public school reform of licensing, certification rules, accreditation recommendations, state and local school board power.
Sarvis supports same-sex marriage mainly because his own marriage is interracial and he wants to encourage freedom of any type of marriage. When asked if a reform of the state's marriage laws would require an omnibus bill to reform the state's adoption laws, Sarvis said that this would be a decision for General Assembly lawmakers, but stressed the importance of getting as much done as possible when it comes to same-sex family rights. Sarvis also pledged that he would sign a public employment non-discrimination bill into law if the General Assembly sent it to his desk. Because this applies to his life, he mainly supports this freedom.
Sarvis on gun rights. Sarvis supports gun rights and the Second Amendment. He believes that to reduce gun violence, the first place to look at is drug laws. He wants to reform drug laws and put an end to gun crimes. He supports constitutional carry, which is when the carrying of firearms is not restricted by law.
Ken Cuccinelli. Ken Cuccinelli is a 45-year-old man from Knoxville, Virginia. His education involves a BS from UVA, a JD from Mason School of Law, MA from Mason. He served on state committees and was a senator for 37th District. He was an Attorney General of Virginia and he is a Republican. He takes conservative positions on abortion, gay marriage, illegal immigration, taxes, government spending, property rights, and gun control. He advocates law enforcement and increased care for the mentally disabled.
Cuccinelli on mental health care. Cuccinelli plans to prioritize improving mental health care in Virginia. He said that he made one spending promise, and it's to mental health. He wants to fund long-term care in home and community-based settings and non-standard medical services such as homemaking for patients. He plans to fund this through waiver programs. Waiver programs move tons of millions of dollars around without the permission of the federal government.
Cuccinelli on abortion. Cuccinelli wants to make all abortion illegal, including incest, except to save the life of the mother. He supports personhood legislation that would grant all rights and privileges of people to unborn children at the point of conception. He went to a rally for NARAC and the pro-choice Virginia warned that the bill that lay legal groundwork to ban abortions without exception, even if endanger the life of the mother.
Cuccinelli on gun control. Cuccinelli strongly supports the Second Amendment. He opposes an assault weapons ban, expanded background checks, and limits high-capacity magazines. He says instead of having stricter gun control, improved treatment for the mentally disabled is the key to ending gun violence. He said that Bloomberg's ads falsely claim that more gun laws will stop violence.
Terry McAuliffe. Terry McAuliffe is a 56-year-old man from McLean. He has a BA from Catholic University of America, a JD from Georgetown University. He was the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, and he has served as one of Hillary Clinton's 2008 campaign chairmen. He was an advisor to a video game company.
McAuliffe on taxes. McAuliffe supports eliminating several business taxes, such as the business professional license tax, and using revenue from local government taxes to make up the difference.
McAuliffe on abortion. McAuliffe believes that women should be able to make their own healthcare decisions without interference. He doesn't want to put up any walls or send the signal that Virginia is moving backwards on important issues like women's health.
McAuliffe on education. McAuliffe believes that education is the single most important thing we can do to build a strong Virginia and what our kids need to build successful lives. He wants to focus on more resources going into training the workforce of tomorrow instead of overhead. Polls. A poll by the Washington Post asked, who will do a better job dealing with the issues of concern to women? 57% of likely voters trust McAuliffe. 30% trust Cuccinelli, 1% trust them both equally, 4% trust neither, and 7% have no opinion. The Washington Post also asked, who better understands the economic problems of people in Virginia? 44% of likely voters said McAuliffe, 40% said Cuccinelli, 3% said both equally, 17% said neither, and 6% had no opinion.
Who should win? We believe that Sarvis should win because of his socially progressive views and good plans for education reform. He comes across as well educated and trustworthy. Who will win? According to the polls, McAuliffe has the highest percentage of votes.